to the Loose Butthole Reviews. I am your host, Smokey, and joining with me, as always, is my co-host, Booge.
Hello.
And as always, before we get into the review proper of this Loose Butthole review, I have to give our rating rules. The first rule is it must be a fraction of 5. 1 means we hate it, 5 means we love it. Rule number 2, if we are disappointed and we want our money back, we give it a good old Jeff Goldblum. And rule number 3, if we all agree that's doing the review that it deserves a 6 out of 5, a God tier, then it will get a God tier. And today, we are reviewing Mothra versus Godzilla from 1964.
Julio.
Like the two previous movies that we have reviewed, this is directed by Ishishiro Honda, and the effects, of course, is by E.G. Tsuchiba. I know I've
You're
dealt
going
with
too
this.
fast. You're
I'm
going
going too
too fast.
fast.
Ishiro Honda and
E-
E.G. Subaraya.
Subaraya. And of course, this is produced by the Toho Company. This is the 4th film in the Godzilla franchise, technically, and the second film in the Mothra franchise.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, and we are going to get into the production of things first. After having success with King Kong, we're in production development, so you know. After
Yes.
having success with King Kong versus Godzilla, the Toho Company wanted to pair Godzilla with another popular monster and chose Mothra, the title character of the successful 1961 film. Honda and Toho aimed the film towards a general audience due to the rise of television at the time.
Hmm.
To prepare for his role, Sahara spent time around pushy real estate agents by posing as a buyer. Tanaka cast the twin sisters Emi and Yumi Ito as the Shobujin due to their popularity as the singing duo The Peanuts, as the world create as this would create publicity for the film.
Yeah, you definitely gotta have the peanuts.
I mean, they were in the Mothra film, so.
Yeah. They are the fucking what do you call them?
Shobujin.
Shobijin. Yeah.
So, the story in Mothra vs. Godzilla was originally intended to pick up after Mothra with the fake
The
United States.
Americans.
Yeah, with the fake
Yeah, fake Americans.
Americans. The fictional people of the fictional country that's fake America
United States of Russia.
was recast as the villains. The screenwriter Shinichi Sekizawa earlier drafts had several key differences from the final version. The villain Torahita did not exist. Sakai was accompanied by 2 scientists, a colleague, and a friend's mentors. Godzilla bodies washes ashore rather than Mothra's egg. The lead offers themselves as hostages to the infant island natives in exchange for Mothra's help. The fake America was to be attacked by Godzilla. That would have been cool. The frontier missiles were to be used by the fake American military. Himagine Castle was to be destroyed. Godzilla was to move east until reaching close to Tokyo. The artificial lighting tactic is conceived when Godzilla is repelled by electrical towers in Tokyo, which that never works. I don't know why that would be a thing. Mothra attacks Godzilla when he becomes immune to electricity. Mothra engages Godzilla in a final battle when he stalks the lead character on a beach. Honda changed much of Sakazawa's original script to accommodate his own vision, of course. Sakai's speech about the Brotherhood of Man was not in Sakazawa's script, but was later added by Honda during filming. The film marks the last time Godzilla is depicted as the antagonist during the franchise's Shoho era. And this is definitely he stopped being a villain because of this. This right here is his lowest point. Like
Yeah.
this is the saddest Godzilla's ever been, to be honest.
This is a drunken tramp of a Godzilla.
This is just pitiful, man. It's like, just go home, man. You don't need to be here.
He was pissed. I don't know. You try being buried under the ground for a while, huh? See how you like. See how well you get up.
All right, so the film's score was composed by Akira Ifubuku. Akira adopted elements from Junji Kosuke's Song of Mothra theme from the 1961 film into a score.
Oh.
Honda and Akira were regular collaborators and held planning sessions to discuss which scenes would feature music. They had a disagreement over a scene which featured Godzilla racing behind a ridgeline. Honda asked for aggressive music for the scene, but Akira refused, feeling that it was unnecessary due to Godzilla being impressive enough. Oh, no, dude. That's not in this. If this was my first time watching Godzilla, I'd been like, is this really like the big bad Godzilla? Like, really? Seems like a drunken dad, to be honest.
I mean, it does seem like how it would actually be if you had a big monster like that having to like go through a city. It probably would just be like falling and fuck around.
Godzilla's theme was eventually added to the scene, which upset Akira. I don't know why that would. You need Godzilla's theme music for Godzilla, so.
They're just being all the little drama queens that day, and probably.
The track "The Sacred Springs" was the only track Akira wrote for the Peanuts, and was intended to limit Infant Island's destruction. For the 1980 re-release, the Japanese pop and rock band Talisman, recorded a new song simply titled Godzilla, which was later included as a bonus feature on Toho's 2014 Blu-ray. And here is the meat, as always, we have the meat of the production. The special effects. Okay, so we know who did the special effects. It was directed by E.G.
Tsuburaya.
Toriyoshi Nakano served as the assistant special effects director. Mechanical props and puppets were built for both monsters. The Godzilla suit was constructed by Tezuo Toshimitsu 2 months prior to filming, with input from the actor Haru Nakajima whenever he visited the workshop. The new suit was lighter than previous ones and allowed Nakajima to make more fluid movement. Reinforced heels gave Nakamura freedom to roll and flip without losing his footing. That's cool.
No.
The 1962 Godzilla suit was recycled for water scenes and shot with Godzilla tumbling off a cliff. For Mothra, a new prop was built, similar to the 1961 prop, with Y-shaped braces attached to the back that allowed the wings to flap. High-powered fans were used to create wind from Mothra's wings. The wingspan for the new Mothra prop was 15 feet. Mechanisms were added that allowed the prop's head and legs to move via remote control. The larvae were a combination of hand puppetry and motor-driven mechanical props. The larvae webs were made of a liquefied
Polystyrene.
polystyrene.
Sorry.
When the web was shot off screen, it was poured onto a cup. It was poured onto a cup stationed at the center of the heavy industrial fan. The cup was sealed with small gaps around the edges to shoot the web out of the larva's mouth. Compressed air was run inside a sealed tube of liquid polystyrene.
Polystyrene.
At a high pressure level, the liquid polystyrene was forced through a tube that ran through the back of the larvae and into nozzles in their mouths. As long as the nozzle was small, the solution vaporized when first emitted and solidified into the web. Gasoline had to be used to remove the webbing, and the suit had to be thoroughly dried to prevent it from combusting. Damn.
Damn, that thing's supposed to like stunk though too. I mean, if you got in that shit, you're gonna get a little high.
Oh yeah, you definitely was huffing some gasoline that day.
Get a hit of that gas.
The larva movements were designed by Sorjuro Legima and used a conveyor belt with rotating gears that allowed the bodies to move up and down. For the scenes with the Shobojin, furniture 8 times their size were built to make the Shobojin appear to be 30 centimeters tall. Honda originally intended to depict the wasteland part of Infant Island with more realism and graphic imagery, but the idea was dropped due to budgetary issues with art department. I don't think that's... I think the art department was probably like, oh, no, man, we can't. Budget, yeah, that's right, the budget. We can't do
I want corpses.
the budget.
I want a baby's corpse. People
budget.
gotta remember the goddamn bomb. They gotta remember the bomb.
The budget. The budget. You gotta remember the budget. So, Honda later regretted this decision, saying he should have been more stubborn. See, I knew it. It wasn't that him and the art department were arguing back and forth about that for sure. It was too much.
He's like, I just want some like nuclear like Holocaust-esque like imagery.
Look,
somebody.
It's just we can't. It's just the budget. We can't fit it. It's just it costs way too much to make them. We gotta do the Mothra. We gotta do the Godzilla. Now you want to make corpses?
But how are they gonna remember the bomb?
We can make a giant crater. How about that? The budget says we can make a giant crater.
Fine, I'm throwing a baby skull in there. I'm throwing a baby skull.
Alright, so the effects director had Toho purchase a Oxyberry 1900 optical printer, which was used to remove damages to composite photography shots. Okay. The optical printer was also used to create Godzilla's atomic breath. For a scene where Godzilla destroys the Nagoya Castle, uh, uh, Nikojima was unable to completely destroy the model of the castle. He attempted to salvage the shot by having Godzilla appear enraged by the castle's strong fortification, but the filmmakers chose to reshoot the scene with a rebuilt model designed to crumble more easily. So that's why he's pissed. That's why Godzilla. There's definitely a shot from the when he's like, "Oh fuck," and he can't tear it down.
Damn.
All right, so yeah, they for a scene where Mothra drags Godzilla by the tail, the Godzilla suit was used for medium shots and a prop used for long shots. A sequence featuring the United States military attacking Godzilla with frontier missiles was filmed for the American market but omitted in the Japanese version of the film. Damn, they were preemptively putting American footage into their own films. It's like they're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be pissed because it's like even you that little bit of extra effort got put into like adding that like bullshit, not really necessary American scene of them shooting some missiles at Godzilla. It's like I could have had my fucking nuclear holocaust.
The budget. Oh, we keep going over this. It's the budget.
God
Oh, the Mothra prop used for the Newkirk City scenes in Mothra was recycled for the Infant Island scenes. This prop was smaller compared to the prop built for the new film's adult Mothra. The 1961 model had a motor built into the into the flat into that flapped that built into it that flapped the wings at a rapid pace. For the scenes
Oh,
with Godzilla near the cliff face, part of the set's support structure was hidden by using
Matt Payton.
matte painting. Yes, the miniature tanks used in the film were purchased from Hira models rather than typically custom built. The tank models were built to 1/15th scale and were constructed from aluminum. The antennas were used for remote control. For the scene where Godzilla destroys the incubator, the scene proved difficult for Nikojima and the wire staff, which required coordination. Um, Close-ups of the tail were done with a prop that was operated by two people due to the heavy weight of the tail. The scenes with Godzilla thrashing wildly at Mothra were shot at high speed, then projected at a quicker speed. The end results have been compared to the movement of a stop-motion animation. The scene with Godzilla thrashing for the nets from the nets where was shot with different cameras at once. As a result, the same scene plays over from different angles.
Okay.
A second egg was produced for the hatching scene. A styrofoam egg was molded in fucking calcium carbonate substance was mixed with glue and added on top. The styrofoam egg was moved from its interior with a heated wire, uh, which left a hollow form. Uh, for the opening typhoon scene, Lajima built a shallow water tank to create the illusion of violent waves. Wider water scenes were filmed at massive pool on at a massive pool at Toho Studios. Um, a rubber glue was blown into the Godzilla suit by an electric fan for the scene where Mothra's larva entrapped him in silk. In the process of filming, the rubber glue hardened, making it difficult to remove afterwards.
Well, I wonder if like the next movie, if you look closely, if you can maybe see a little bit of that glue, that glue a little bit, which would kind of works because I mean, that would still make that wouldn't like take me out of the film. It'd just be like, oh, you still got that from the Mothra fight, you know? That makes
Yeah,
sense. That he'd
yeah,
still have
they,
like a little kaiju spray on him,
yeah, I get that. They had
kaiju silk.
a little battle damage from his last fight.
Hmm.
All right, so that was the production stuff. We can mosey on to the plot. Okay, so Kerita Beach is stricken by a typhoon. The following morning, reporter Ichiro Sakai and his photographer Junko uh, Nak- Nakanishi
Nakanishi.
find a strange blue-gray object amongst the wreckage. Later, a giant egg is found floating near Nishi Beach in Shinzunara.
Shizo. Yeah.
Professor Mara attempts to investigate the egg, only to be pestered by questions by Sakai. Then soon learn that the villagers had sold the egg to businessman Komayama for exploration purposes for his firm happiness. Exploitation purposes for his firm Happy Enterprises. Uh, at a local hotel, Sakai, Junko, and Mora discuss how to legally encounter Kumiyama's plans and find him at the lobby. Kumiyama meets with his financial backer, Jira Tarihata, who reveals his plans to build the Shinjinara Happy Center around the egg. They are visited by the Shobojin, tiny twin fairies, who attempt to convince them to return the egg, but have to escape when the businessmen try to capture them. The Shobojin run into Sakai, Junko, and Maria. I'm gonna fuck that name up all the time. And reveal them that the egg belongs to the colossal insect god Mothra. The recent typhoon caused it to wash up on Japanese waters, and destruction will follow when the larva emerges. The trio agreed to help them retrieve the egg and try to plead with the businessmen, but are met with resistance. The Shobojin eventually return home to Infant Island without the egg. You still there? Oh no.
Oh, I was still
Okay.
muted from when I
Okay.
coughed.
Okay, good. I was like, no, something happened. I was just had to check because it got real quiet. I hate to break up the flow like that, but I just had to check. Okay. So later, Sakai writes scathing articles about Happy Enterprises' insensitivity towards the Shobojin. However, the firm dismisses the articles as slander, and upon the Shinjinaro Happy Center to the public, uh, Kamayami is confronted by the villagers for not paying in full for the egg and renting from their land. Terihata agrees to loan Koyama additional funds in exchange for putting the egg up as collateral. Koyama reluctantly agrees and begins incubating the egg. Oh no. Sorry, I had a sneezing fit.
There we go.
I had a
Oh,
sneezing
good.
fit.
I was having a coughing fit at the same time.
uh, fucking, he gets the loan. He puts it up for collateral. He starts incubating the egg. Moriyama,
Mira
uh,
decontaminates.
Mira decontaminates Sakai and Junko after touching the object they found in the wreckage, revealing it to be highly radioactive. The trio return to Koreada Beach to investigate further, but the giant reptilian monster Godzilla emerges from the buried mud. Uh, Citizens evacuate as Godzilla wreaks havoc on Yoki, Yo, Yoka,
Oh,
Yokoichi and Nagoya.
Yukaichi? Yukaichi and Nagoya. Yeah.
The Japan Self-Defense Forces are deployed to lead Godzilla to the coast to minimize casualties. At the suggestion of a colleague, the trio travel to Infant Island to appeal to the Shobujin for Mothra's help. When they arrive, they are horrified by the desolation left behind by past nuclear tests. They are captured by natives and reveal their intentions to ask for Mothra's help against Godzilla. The Shobujin and natives refuse, seeing it's a divine retribution on outsiders for ravaging their island with nuclear tests and not returning the egg. Junko and Sakai plead that the innocent are also in danger, that they have no right to decide who deserves to live or die, and the civilization is flawed, but it is trying hard to make the world better. Mothra agrees to help, but the Shobujin warn that she is on her deathbed. Back in Japan, the Japan Self-Defense Force launched multiple campaigns against Godzilla, but to no avail. After losing his fortune, Kuyami confronts Toriyata at his hotel, attacks him, and steals his secret funds. Toriyata shoots Kuyama and attempts to escape with the money, but is crushed to death as Godzilla destroys the hotel. Godzilla reaches Nishi Beach and prepares to destroy the egg until Mothra intervenes and engages Godzilla in battle. Mothra initially gets the upper hand, but is defeated by Godzilla's atomic breath. Mothra uses her final strength to fly the egg and die next to it. As the Japanese Self-Defense Force resumes their attacks on Godzilla, the trio and the Shobujin remain with the egg as the twins attempt to make the egg hatch more quickly via musical incantations. On Infant Island, the natives join in a ritual dance in response to the twins' music. Twin larvae emerge from the egg and follow Godzilla to Iwa, Iowa.
One's it. Uh, it's fucking. Oh yeah, that's it. That's Iwa.
Iwa
It's an Iwa.
Island. As the monsters battle, the trio join a rescue party to retrieve students and their teacher left behind on Iwa Island. Godzilla is entrapped by the larva's silk, tumbles into the sea, and sinks. The students and teacher are returned to safety, and the larvae and Shobujin return to Infant Island. Sakai asserts that humanity will thank them by building a better world.
And what have we learned from Atragon? That kaijus are weak to Bakaki.
Yes,
And that's what happened. They Bakakied him good.
they Bakagied him real good. So, the film historian, we're moving on to the themes. The film historian Stephen Reifel calls Mothra vs. Godzilla a classic good versus evil standoff. He says the film raises philosophical questions about unity and humanity's will to put aside their differences for the greater good. Rifle, or Riffle, uh, refers
Well, I
to
remember this guy.
Godzilla refers to Godzilla as the specter of nuclear annihilation, metaphorically casting its shadow over Japan. While, oh, I guess that's a spelling error. Riffle or Rifle also describes Godzilla as a symbol of moral judgment after indirectly killing the film's villains. The di- the director Ishiro Honda and the had directed the original Godzilla 1946 and Mothra 1961 films, and the actor Hishiro
Hiroshi.
Hiroshi
Hiroshi Koizumi.
Kuzumi said Honda was able to emphasize his themes better through Mothra than Godzilla, stating Mothra's role was a messenger of peace. Kinji Sahara said his character Tohira symbolized greed. Honda purposely chose to portray the film's version of Infant Island as a partial wasteland as a way to visualize the terror and the power of the atomic bomb.
They should have let him do what he wanted.
The
It's
budget,
what he wanted.
the budget. The film historian David Calat writes that the
Khaled?
film
Yeah.
writes that the film brings the shame of civilized man to the forefront and says that the film's Japanese characters do little to nothing to return Mothra's egg, yet travel to Infant Island to ask Mothra for more. He also writes that Mothra is the first to respond to Sekai's speech about the brotherhood between mankind, adding that Mothra possesses a more developed faculty of forgiveness than her subjects, thus making Mothra morally and spiritually superior than humans.
Damn.
Well, damn.
Take that fucking humanity. Take that fucking humanity. Big Moth better than you.
Yeah, that's basically what he's saying. I mean, I guess he wouldn't be wrong if Mothra actually existed.
Yeah, that's true.
All right.
I mean,
so,
yeah, I mean, I'd be on Team Mothra all day if Mothra existed. I don't care what the fuck Mothra's doing.
Yeah,
It's a big ass moth.
I want to fucking fly on Mothra, so yeah, I'll be the same thing. Like, well, all right, so the theatrical release, Mothra vs. Godzilla, was released in Japan in Toho on in Japan by Toho on April 29th, 1964, as a double feature with Operation Anti-Hell.
What is that movie?
I don't know. It doesn't
Operation
even have a
Anti-Hell.
I don't know. Yeah. But it's got a cool name. Prior to the Golden Week, it sold 3.5 million tickets. According to Henry J. Seprenstein, the film grossed $217,000 for 3 weeks for 8 theaters in Tokyo. In 1970, a heavily re-edited version was screened at the Toho Champion Festival, a children's festival centered on marathon screenings of kaiju films and cartoons. Fuck yeah.
Man. Man. To be a kid over there at that time, fuck yeah.
The Champion Festival version was edited by Honda and runs for 74 minutes. The Champion Festival release sold 730,000 tickets. In
Dang.
1980, the film was theatrically re-released in Japan as a double feature with Doraemon,
Nobita.
Nobita's Dinosaur. An entirely new poster featured an illustration of Godzilla by Japanese manga artist Majima Matsumoto was designed for the 1980 re-release. It sold 3 million tickets, totaling 7.22 million tickets sold in Japan.
For some reason, I always forget that Doraemon's that old.
So, the American version. In May of 1964, Henry G. Saperstein
Saperstein.
acquired the American theatrical and television rights to the film under the proposed working title Mothra versus God dang it. Working title Godzilla versus the Giant Moth.
The fucking big ass fucking moth. Oh, look at that big ass moth.
I mean, you can't really hate that title. It's better than The Thing.
The thing.
Which I wonder if we'll. Yeah, okay, yeah. We're about to get into that. And sold the rights to American International Pictures. IAP was dumb, and they released the film as Godzilla versus The Thing on August 26, 1964, when it premiered in Los Angeles. American International Pictures chose the title Godzilla versus the Thing purposefully to generate curiosity and anticipation for Godzilla's foe. What the fuck ever. Y'all didn't know what Mothra was. You didn't know what the larva was.
Damn.
So you was just like, oh, it's the Thing.
The thing.
So the American International Pictures hired Ryan, Reynold Bryan.
Reynold.
Yeah, Reynold Brown, not Brian. Reynold Brown to create a poster that featured Godzilla but censored the other monster. Brown was paid $350 for his services. Now, hold on. Before you're like, oh, that's so funny. He didn't hold. Let's go to the inflation calculator. Hold on. Hold up before we laughing at this guy. Let's see how much.
It's probably like at
actually
least a
got
couple,
paid.
like 1,000 at least, right?
Okay,
Couple thousand.
1964 money, 350 calculate. Okay, he got paid $3,563.95.
Not too bad.
Yeah,
But
too
mainly I'm
bad.
laughing at the fucking I'm just mainly laughing at the big censored thing. It looks like Godzilla's like fighting a penis.
Yes.
They're like,
yes.
I want to
Okay,
see the censored thing.
Oh, and they called it versus the Thing. Oh, someone was clever. Someone was actually clever there, David. I would have went. I would have had to go.
It's like, is Godzilla fighting a dick? Works for the ending.
The American version of the film contains footage shot by Toho specifically for the American release. The American version of the film received only a few minor adjustments. The Shobojin song on Infant Island was shortened, as was a scene where Sakai, Junko, Maria, and Makamura waved goodbye to Mothra swimming home. Removed scenes including one of Kiyumayo, I was pronouncing his name the whole time, I know I'm fucking it up, handing out leaflets to attract visitors to the giant egg incubator, and one where Toriyata shoots him in the hotel room. New scenes added, including a sequence where U.S. military officials helped Japan against Godzilla. The American re release of the film was double billed with Voyage to the End of the Universe. Um,
Hmm.
Titra Studios dubbed the film in English. The film was followed by Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, which was released December 20th, 1964.
Hmm. Interesting. Interesting.
If you are interested in the home media in Japan in 1983, the Japanese version of Mothra vs. Godzilla was released on VHS in Japan by Toho, followed by a Laserdisc release in 1986. The Champion Festival cut was given a Laserdisc release in 1992, and the American version was included on a Laserdisc combo packed the following year. Toho also released the film on DVD in 2003 and later included the film along the rest of the Godzilla films on the Godzilla Final Box DVD set in 2005. The film was included with Godzilla 1954, Godzilla Raids Again 1955, and Godzilla vs. King Kong 1962 on the Godzilla DVD Collection 1, released by Toho on January 25th, 2008. In 2010, Toho released it on Blu-ray. 2008, they also remastered the film in high definition and premiered it on the Japanese movie specialty channel along with the rest of the Godzilla films, also remastered in HD. And in 2021, recently, Toho premiered a 4K remastered of the film on the Nippon Classic Movie Channel, along with 7 other Godzilla films also remastered in 4K. The film was downscaled to 2K for broadcast. What was the point of remastering it in 4K then? Alright, so in 1989, the American version was released on VHS in North America by Paramount Home Video under the title Godzilla vs. Mothra, which is not correct. In 1998, Scimitar Video reissued the American version on VHS and DVD, which included a widescreen edition. Disgusting. The release retained the previous title Godzilla vs. Mothra, which is stupid. However, the disgusting widescreen side of the DVD featured the original American print with the Godzilla versus the Thing. In 2002, Sony Music Entertainment released a pan and scan version of the American version on DVD. Okay. This release was also retain its previous dumb title, Godzilla vs. Mothra. In 2007, the Classic Media released both the Japanese and American versions on a single disc DVD in North America. The special feature included an audio commentary by film historian Stephen Rifle and Ed Godzinski's feature on Akira Ifuku's life and career by the Ed guy and Bill Goodmanson, a slideshow and the film's theatrical trailer. In 2017, Jonas Films and the Centurion collection acquired the film as well as other Godzilla titles to stream on Stars and Filmstrucks. In 2019,
Fuck stars.
yeah, fuck them. But 2019, the Japanese version was included in a Blu-ray box set released by Criterion Collection, which included all 15 films from the franchise's 1954 to 1975 Shoujo era. And in May 2020, the Japanese version became available on HBO Max upon its launch, which is now known as Max, and you can still watch it on there.
Oh, that's how we did it, baby.
Yeah.
We're back to the modern times here.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got, and that's it. We can go over the reception of it, of course. Where is the Rotten Tomatoes? Where's Rotten Tomatoes? Where is the Rotten Tomatoes? Okay, on Rotten Tomatoes, the the critics gave it a 92% and the audience gave it a 68%. I feel the audience is warranted on that. Very
Because
warranted on that.
there's definitely a lot of things like in the plot that it just felt like they only did it because they did it in the Mothra movie. Like
Yeah,
with some of the
they're trying to
yeah.
rehash the Mothra movie just in case no one saw. It was like they knew people knew Godzilla, but they weren't sure people were familiar with Mothra, so they kind of try to
Yeah.
rehash everything.
It's like rehash everything of Mothra, and then Godzilla just drunkenly stumbles in
And
his
drunkenly
movie, which
stumbles
is
out.
great. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Godzilla is good in this, but it's definitely like, oh man, you lost the way, you lost your way, man. Come on, man, look at yourself. You look at yourself.
You got bukkakied by two worms.
uh, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I think we can get into final thoughts now.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first? I mean, I've been babbling,
Sure.
so I think you should go first.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've already mentioned probably like my only real issues with this is it kind of just felt like kind of a clumsy rehash of a lot of plot points from Mothra, and they just did that because it's like, oh, that's what we did in Mothra. That's a part of Mothra is like a fucking corrupt businessman and trying to trying to sue you and fucking trying to make money off of Mothra or the twins or whatever. Um, I mean, they hit all those types of plot points and they hit them kind of rough, but oh, the fight's great. I mean, Mothra gets to kick some ass. I mean, it's not like the most perfect fight scene, but it's interesting to watch. There's not like too much, reused footage like they, will probably be, which we'll be starting to see once we get farther up in these Showa
There's a
era ones.
there's a gas station. I can't wait because my dad pointed it out, and it's every movie. Once it pops up the one time, we're gonna see it in every movie. I can't wait.
Oh
I've
yeah.
been looking out for it. It's gotta be the next one. It has to be the next movie.
It's gotta be next one. But but I mean it's just fun. It's funny. I mean there's a lot of trying to see. I'm kind of now I'm having trouble, which is one issue I do have with this is that when I think back, it's hard for me to I get it mixed up with Mothra because like of like the weird plot points that they have in this that are just like Mothra, but like are less necessary in this than it is in Mothra. Uh,
One
so
way you
it
can
does.
say
I'm
that.
getting. It doesn't make me like really like mixed up here with like what was going on with the human characters. You know.
Yeah, well, the way I can separate is the Shobujin's got the drip in this one. This is the one where Shobujin got
Yeah.
the. In the original, they got the loincloths the whole time.
Hmm. Yeah. It's mainly like the stuff with the villains that I'm having trouble. Like, I when I like think back, I'm like, shit, was that the fucking was that Nel? What am I thinking of Nelson now from fucking Mothra, or am I thinking of the fucking Nelson wannabes that are in this?
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So I mean, definitely, a lot of time is. There's been a little bit of time that's passed since we watched this and we were doing the review now, but it does kind of show that I don't know, like thinking back, maybe it didn't do well in like differentiate itself in that way. Like for me to think of anything plot wise. But what I do remember is the most important things is the kaiju fights. I I enjoyed watching Godzilla fucking stumble around like he's fucking on a bender. Uh, that was pretty cool. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think this is a good standard kaiju movie. I'm gonna give this one. I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Pretty good
Yeah.
standard.
All right. I'm good. I can't really. I'm gonna go. I guess it's my final thoughts now.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I can't really say much else. Yeah, I pretty much got all the same really like problems you got with it and everything. I do enjoy this a little more because during the fight we get this is the part where it gets a little slapsticky. They get a little more fun with it, and they kind of add some comedy to the fight. It's just not Godzilla versus this poor creature that can't even really fight him.
Yeah.
so so like and it's I'm I got to give it a 3.5 out of 5. I got to give it a little more because even though they rehash most of Mothra's stuff, you don't need to see the first Mothra film to watch this. Like you got to watch
Yeah.
Godzilla, but that's what I kind of like about that is they don't make you have to seek out all these different kaiju movies and watch this huge universe that's coalescing. It's like, yes, this
Like
is
fucking Marvel.
yeah, this is Mothra, but it's not the same Mothra from the first Mothra movie. Like it is
Mm.
different in ways. Like that, it's similar, but it's still not exactly the same. Because first of all, in the Mothra movie, Godzilla doesn't exist. Like like it's
Yeah.
the first giant monster anybody sees, and that's why they're like, oh shit, they're freaking out.
Hmm.
But in this, they're just like, oh shit, it's a giant egg. We can sell it. That's they whatever. They kind of are used to giant monsters now,
Yeah.
to the point where it seems like they kind of want to find ways to capitalize on them and make money off of them in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely a
Gotcha.
3.5 out of 5 for me. I enjoy this a little more than your average kaiju, but yeah, just if you want Mothra, just go watch Mothra. Just go watch the Mothra movie. Like you don't really need this unless you want the drip. You gotta watch this for the
Hmm.
Peanuts drip. The Peanut got the drip in this.
No, they do.
But yeah, I think that's really it. I can't say much. Like I said, I'd just be rehashing everything you said. So I think this is the part where I go, hey, if you've been listening to us ramble this long, thank you so much. Please leave a like on the video. Please leave a comment in the comment section down below. And subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. And this is the part where I go, hey, does any of my co-hosts have a sign-off?
Oh, it's time. 420 Blaze It. Gotta find the 420 smoke spot of the movie. And I can't really remember a lot of spots in this, but I guess I'll just have to choose um, the weird little greenhouse containment thing that they have around the egg. I could smoke by the egg, even though it's probably gonna get me cancer because it's radioactive.
I
There,
want
there you go.
Mothra. Mine is Mothra's chamber with Mothra. I want to hang out with Mothra.
Okay. Hell yeah.
And it would
I
be
forgot there is
cool.
a chamber.
Yeah, because it'd be cool because it will be more openy and shit. It'd be great. It'd be a cool place. And it'd have all
Hell
the
yeah.
cool imagery and shit around, all the Mothra imagery on the walls and shit. That'd be fucking cool as fuck.
Might still get some cancer.
Might still get some cancer, but hey, it's fine. This is the part where I go, hey, and remember to tell your children that music fades. That, I'm fucking up my outro. It's cats die, music fades, but art is for keeps. And go hell, the last podcast gang, motherfuckers.
Hell yeah.
Henry Sabrowski, Marcus Parks, and Ed Larson. This will
Fuck
be
yeah.
a bye-bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.